Okay, welcome to our webinar today, NASDAQ's B2Win Suite Overview. And I know most of you, but my name is Kathy Barthelt, and I'm responsible for sales and marketing and for the Baan and LN practice. I'll be the webinar moderator today. During today's webinar, we're going to learn how each core application that comprises the B2Win Suite is integrated into your system's infrastructure to expand functionality, automation, and improve business efficiency. Our presenter today is Ehab Saya from NASDAQ. Ehab's a senior sales manager with NASDAQ, and most, if not all of you, I'm sure, have met or have spoken with Ehab previously. So to kick off the session today, I'm just going to give you a brief overview of our company and our relationship with NASDAQ, and then I'll turn it over to Ehab. So here's the agenda. Just as I said, brief interview of our relationship with NASDAQ, and then we're going to go into an overview of NASDAQ as a company, an introduction of the B2Win Suite, go into the demo, and then time for questions at the end. So Crossroads has been in business since 1984, 30 years plus experience with manufacturers and distributors. Been a partner with Baan since the early 90s. We did the first Baan implementation in the United States. Still a customer of ours today. Consulting and technical staff with 8 to 32 plus years of experience. We have some of the original consultants that were part of the company that founded it that are still with us today. Offices in Illinois and Wisconsin, but we do have consultants spread throughout the Midwest, the East Coast, and in India as well. In addition to our consulting business and expertise, we have our own data collection and MES offerings for Baan and LN machine integration capability as well. We are an Infor consulting and customization partner as well as a solution partner. So our specialties, as I said, really consulting and software, very much focusing on Baan and LN. We do implementations and upgrades, training, customization work, system integration, custom development, add-ons specifically for Baan and LN customers, portal development, and production warehouse management solutions. So our relationship with NASDAQ is a long one. We have been a U.S. reseller for them for a number of years. Together we have over 25 joint customers running everything from Baan 4 through LN, 60 plus installations of the various products that NASDAQ has sold over the years. We do provide some frontline support to those customers in the U.S. And I'm proud to say that we have incorporated some of NASDAQ solutions into our own, really giving them much greater functionality and capability than we could ever do on our own. So specifically, some of those are our supplier portal solution, where we send out orders and acknowledgments via NASDAQ's mail merge product, and do that in a very automated fashion, and really have been able to incorporate that very nicely with our portal solution so that it's very seamless. And then our RMC ship application as well to send out notifications and orders with tracking information from FedEx and UPS, again, all tightly integrated with NASDAQ's products. And then, of course, various customizations that we've done for customers over the years involving NASDAQ's offerings. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ehab, and you can go ahead and take control of the screen, if you would.
Okay, I'm turning this to my colleague here, Najid, who's with me, who will do the company overview.
Hello, everybody. My name is Najid Azzam. I'll be just introducing the company, and then Ehab will take you through the live demonstration of the system. NASDAQ was founded in 1997. It's a privately held company. We specialized in developing and selling outbound management system tools. We have over 20 years of experience providing solutions in that area. Our tools, probably most of you are familiar with some of them. You probably are using them. We specialize in converting ERP business documents, taking them from Baan 4 or LN, converting them into different formats such as PDF, Excel, Word, and others. We have the design tools that we can do graphical design to generate purchase orders, invoices, adding logos, adding additional graphs or barcodes into the design and giving it an identity basically, and a tabular design where you can fix your tabular reports before you convert them into Excel. And we have the tools that do distribution, where you can personalize the message and you can distribute it using multiple channels, emailing, faxing. You can archive, connect to document management systems such as SharePoint. We have over 1,000 customers that actually are using our products, and we have 300 of them are on active maintenance worldwide. Some of our customers are Fortune 500 businesses. We have customers from small to medium businesses as well. So these are some of our customers. You can see we serve customers from different industries, from electronics, such as Flextronics, aerospace and defense, and the car industry. Some of the names here I'm sure you are familiar with and you recognize. So we have a good track record in the market. So what we've done in the last 2.5 years is we've taken some of the products that we have, we've taken the best features that are in these products and the input that we've gathered from our customers over the years on the needs that they have and the output management, and we combine all of these in a new system that is the B2Win Suite. We developed it with the latest development technologies and programming languages. So the B2Win Suite is basically a package of software that is geared towards the output management and customer communication for doing all what I've said before, and from converting to personalizing, customizing reports and distributing the reports to help companies with communication with their business partners and managing the output out of the ERP system. The B2Win has 3 main applications. So the first application, the B2 Transform, and that's the application that does the conversion. Then the B2 Design, which is the application that does the design, graphical design, as well as tabular design, PDF and Excel. And the B2 Distribute, which does the distribution. B2 Distribute has a smart engine. And what the smart engine does is it parses the documents. So let's say you have 1,000 purchase orders or invoices. The B2 Distribute knows how to parse those into separate documents based on a key that you choose. It could be the PO number or the invoice number or the business partner name, and it will parse it. Then it will know how to recognize if it's an invoice or if it's a purchase order, what type of document it is. It will know how to match it to the right business partner to send it to, and the distribution channel that specific business partner and contact person and that business partner prefers. And then it does that distribution. So the interface for that system, if you go to the next slide, Kathy, this is the interface. It runs on the browser, and it has a very strong administration tool. So the administrator can define the users, give permissions to the users, can monitor what the users are doing, what type of conversions, documents, reports they are running. So it has a good administrative tools as well as a very user-friendly and easy-to-use interface. The B2Win Suite, if our other products, the previous ones that you're familiar with, were installed actually on the Baan or LN server, but the B2Win Suite doesn't have to be on the LN server. It can be on any virtual machine, and it runs outside the ERP, but there's a connector that is installed in the ERP that connects the suite with the ERP. The suite has a REST API, so if you have other systems that you want to connect it and you want to use the B2Win Suite to do customization on other reports or documents that are coming from a CRM system that you have or a financial system, so the B2Win Suite is ready to be able to connect with other enterprise systems. So that's a quick summary of NASDAQ and the B2Win Suite. Any questions on that section?
Okay, let me share my screen now so that okay. Actually, I will be showing some example from LN and some other from Baan 4. What's advantage of this B2Win Suite that you can connect multiple LN or Baan application to the same B2Win Suite. Okay, let me start with an example from LN. I'll be printing bill of material report to B2Win Suite. On the LN or on the Baan side, all what you have is the Baan B2Win Suite connector, which is a device that you print the report to this device. Once you print to the device, it will open B2Win Suite in a web browser. So actually, this is bill of material. I print this to B2Win Suite connector device, and it will now open B2Win Suite in a web browser, as you can see here. Okay, you have here the report name, bill of material. You can have a report preview. This is the report coming from LN. On the left side, you have the administrator menu, where you can see dashboard. You can see some statistic on how many conversions done, what reports are printed, what conversion formats are used. You can see also history of your runs, which you can reactivate from the history without going into Baan or LN. You can see the reports configuration. You can see also these three sections, business partner, contacts, and address book, can be exported from LN or Baan and imported here to the suite so that they can be used later for the B2 distribute. You can define also email groups. You can define logos and backgrounds as well to be used with the PDF designer and with the document. And you have here the users and the system. So this is for the admin. The normal user will see a limited edition of this menu. He will see his own runs. He will not be able to see the whole menu unless he has admin role. Okay, let me get back to the application for the bill of material report that we printed. As Najid said, we have the three applications here, the B2 transform, where you can choose the format and change from to different format. When you change format, you can see that the mode will be changed also according to what you are converting. You have more options here for the Excel and for the PDF, where you can do logo, font scales, and stuff. On the middle, you have the B2 design. If you are on the PDF, it will activate the PDF designer. If you are on Excel, it will activate the Excel designer. And on the right side, you have the third application, which is B2 distribute, where you can choose the action that you'd like to do for this converted document. You can email it, print it, launch it on the screen, archive it on a predefined path. You can integrate with SharePoint as well. And later on, I'll be showing how you can activate the smart engine for handling documents like purchase orders, invoices, quotation. I'll be showing this as well. Let me go back to the bill of material example. We will be showing how we can convert this to Excel in a table mode. Let me activate the Excel designer. Okay, so this is the Excel designer. On the left side, you can see the original report. On the right side, you can see the design preview. I will start a new configuration so that you can see how easy you can customize this with the Excel customizer. As you can see, it's total mess on the right side before doing the customization. So now we start by defining the main header of the table. You can select part of it, it will be enough, and then define the main header. You will see it right away changed on the right view. So it's WYSIWYG. What you do, you see right away. We can take any of the fields from above the main header. For example, I can take the manufactured item, define it as a floating header, and this would be the value. And then I can decide to pivot this into a column in the table. We can do pivot down R, it means repeated, or S, it means single. It will be repeated only when the value changes. Let's do pivot down R for this one. You can see it now right away here as a column. And we can do the same here for the item. So I define this as a floating header. and this would be the value. For this one, I can choose, for example, pivot S, single. You can see it now added here. Okay. And you can see that it will appear only when the value changes. I can go to the global settings here on the detail. I can remove the limited and empty lines. One more thing that I will show here also. Do you see this effective date and expiry date? It's displayed in multi-line. We can handle this also. We have a feature called multi-line where I can have separate columns for these two fields. Let me show you how we can do this. I can actually go to global settings. It's a multi-line feature. So we can go to settings here, maximum line, we have 2 lines, and then we will need to set the anchor position. Anchor is it's a character that unique for one of the lines. So we can, in this example, I choose this slash, I do finish, and you will see it now here. If I enlarge the right view, you can see this other multi-line. I can drag it to be in the correct position. It should be here, near the effective date, and then I can rename this. So actually this first one is the effective date, and I cut this to put it on the other column, which is the expiry date. So actually the multi-line here, you can see it now in 2 separated columns. We can do additional formatting here. For example, we can do split. There are 2 types of split, standard split or split with cut. For this, I can do split with cut and then cut the slash, the character after the sign. So it will split it, cutting the slash, and then I can fix the column, title, position 1, and this was position 2. This column is blank. I can easily get rid of it, just delete column. This one has a leading zeros, and I would like to have the leading zero displayed in Excel. So what I need to do, I need to define the data type for this column to text. Okay, this one is also blank. I just get rid of it. And here I have quantity. I would like to change the data type of this to number. Same with this one. Data type, number. All of these are blank, so I would like to delete these columns. No need for it in the Excel. Okay, once I'm satisfied with what I did, I can save and exit. This will be saved for the report default, so all of the users can benefit from this customization. This is done only once, and then all users can run this report using this default customization. We have also the ability to have multiple designs for the same report. So you can have the default, and I can have my own customization for the same report. Let's run it with the default customization. I can click on run with the launch action to launch it on screen. And here you can see it with these 2 columns that we added with the multi-line feature that we enabled here to cover this effective date and expiry date. You can see the leading zero with the data type here. So all of the customization done is now taken into consideration in the Excel file. I'm happy with the result. I would like to save default for this report so that I can print from LN directly even without going through B2Win Suite. So I can close this B2Win Suite. I can go back to this screen from LN, and this time I can print this. Instead of going through B2Win Suite, I can use some switches. For example, the format would like to be Excel, and then I would like to launch this on screen. So I can do -F XLS -launch. This will generate the Excel file and will launch it on screen without going through B2Win Suite interface at all. So actually this is good. You can define some devices, specific devices, one for Excel, one for PDF. You can have a lot of switches are available. For example, instead of launching, you can do -2 and then email address. It will generate the Excel file. It will email it automatically. You can do, instead of -2, archive, and then specify a path where you would like to archive this Excel file. There are a lot of features, a lot of switches that can be used to handle automatic conversion even without going through B2Win Suite interface. Let me open if you have any question for this section before we move into the PDF part and to other parts.
Quick question for you.
Yes.
So let's say you define your process and you have a standard set of switches that you want to use, and you put that in that output file field. If you save those defaults, will that then be saved for that user?
Yes, it's saved actually per report, per user.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, one more example that I would like to show you before moving to the PDF part, actually. Let me switch to Baan 4, but before that, let me switch also my user from Baan to BSP. What you see here is a client connection as well. You can run B2Win Suite without any client interaction at all, but we have also extra connector to the client that will enable you to actually use some of your PC's programs. Like if you'd like to integrate with your Outlook installed on the machine, you will need to install this B2Win client. If you'd like to run your macros from your PC, you'll also need to use this client mode. The example that I would like to show you now, actually, it's a query that we did with Baan Query Tool. It's our ad hoc for making reports. Let me show you the interface really quick. This is the B Query Tool. You can actually access the Baan tables easily. You don't need to know the tables. You just can display it by description, and you will have the fields. You can take any of these fields to here, and then you have already a report that you can print. You can have, join tables. But what I would like to show, we created a query or a report using BQuery tool. We saved it, and it's now here. Once I run this query, it will actually generate a sales trend report. It will go to B2Win Suite, and it will run a macro that we applied for this macro all automatically. As you can see from Baan 4, just double click and it generated this Excel files with some graphs. You can actually see here sales by product. You can see sales by brands, Apple and Samsung. You can view monthly sales in each year, quarterly sales. You can view sales by region. So what we did here, we created a query. We converted this to Excel, and then we applied macro to have all of these charts and graphics, all in auto mode.
This is actually very, very simple to do, because what you need to do is you create all your charts and pivots and everything that you want for that report. And what your query does, it goes and brings the data that the suite brings, the report, the new data that the suite brings. It will take that data and copy it into your spreadsheet that has all these pivots, and automatically the data will update and you'll see all the updates in the Excel. So it's very simple to do. You don't even need knowledge in writing, macros. You can just record that macro to go copy from the file that the suite generates, and all of them, this is done automatically.
Any question about this part before we move to the PDF part? Okay, let me switch back to, let me close this, switch back to LN. Next example that I'll be showing, I'll be printing purchase order report. And what I will do, I'll print a range of 10 purchase orders. So I do from order 1 to order 10. And I print this to B2Win Suite connector. Again, it will open B2Win Suite. Okay, so here we have the print purchase order. The first example I'd like to show you is the conversion using the mode native format. Actually, it's a conversion from the native BPF file, which is the LN or Baan 4 format, converted to PDF, keeping the graphics coming from LN. The action would be launch. So I'd like to click on run. It will generate and launch the PDF here. What you can see here, we added the company logo, and here the graphics, this is bold. This is how it comes from Baan originally. So you can see, I note that you have here 10 pages because we printed 10 purchase order. We have 10 pages, but they are all in one PDF file. Later on, you will see when we use the Smart Engine how we can parse this into individual PDF files. Okay, so if you are not satisfied with this format, you would like to do some more design for this, you can switch to the designer, and then you can activate the PDF designer. I already made a design for this purchase order. So here you can see the design. I'll go to this later on. Let me just run it. If I run it with the designer mode, you will see now it will activate the designer, and this is the design I did. Okay, let me activate the designer and explain a little bit what I did. On the left side, you have the original report where you define your blocks. So you can easily define, let me remove one of the blocks, and then I can show you how you can do this. For example, this one. So simply with the mouse highlight and define this as a fixed block. Once you do this, you can move this block freely on the right side and position it in the correct place. You can change the font size, font style of this block and of any of these blocks. So you can easily move between these blocks, move it easily. What I did here, I also added a rectangle. This one, actually, I added using this. You can easily add either rectangle. For example, let me add a new one. It will add it here. You can just enlarge it, format it. You can go to the settings here. You can make it filled and then update. You can do, you can have, let's make it filled with this color, for example. Okay, and then you can also add text here also, so you can write your own text. For example, Nasdaq, and then you can take this Nasdaq, put it here. This one, I also added a barcode. You can go to this You can see it here. You can see the barcode type, and you can also control the height of the barcode. You can change the type here to a different one. For example, you can make it code 1 like this, and then update, so it will change this. And I mean, the value of this barcode actually is variable, which will, it's a document. Actually, it will, if you scan this, you will see the order number, because it's the value, it's document. The barcode value is document. You can change this to var1 or var2 or any other value and then update it. So this is one way of doing the design. Other way would be if you have a ready template or ready background, you can apply it here also, and then you can move the blocks to fit into these background that you have already. And again, once you save this, it's saved for the default report. Like in the Excel, you can have default, you can have users specific design for the same report. Any question about the PDF designer? Okay, let me show you another example of the designer that will cover another area. Let me see. I think I have just a second. Okay, this one. Okay, I have another report here, another example. What I wanted to show here actually is an example of, you see on the original report, the main header, you know, it has two lines and it's not needed in the final result. So what we did in this example, we actually defined this as a block and then deleted this one. And then we added our own header. So this is actually text that we added here. So to make for the header. And what I wanted to show you here also is how we handle the detail of this one. So this, for example, actually it's called, you know, patterns, where you can actually identify pattern, and then you can move all of these blocks in a separate way. So after we did this, you can take this field and move it freely, this one as well. So it's totally flexible. You can design the columns according to the you know, header of this purchase order.
And this will apply to all the lines of this type in all the pages that you have. You just define it once in the first page and it applies to all the other pages.
Any question about the PDF designer? Okay, let me go back to the actually original purchase order that I printed. Actually, what I will do now, I will activate the Smart Engine, and then I can actually run it. And what you will see now, it will parse the 10 purchase orders, as you can see here, into 10 PDF files. I'm running it in what we called 1 by 1, so that you can actually see each order. So this is the first order. It parsed it, it picked the email address defined for this business partner automatically. We configured it to add additional terms and conditions in addition to the purchase order. Note that the name of the terms and conditions is picked according to the business partner. In this purchase order, the business partner is 2003. If you go to a different order, it will be changed according to the business partner. So it's configured using variables, how to pick the terms attachment. It's configured to email and archive in this case. The subject can be automated and customized also. So you can write a print purchase order. You can change it to, for example, document. So when this is sent, it will have the purchase order number in the subject. You can do also like this business partner num. So it will also have the business partner code here, number. You can customize the message that will go, personalize it using variables also. Here we have example of some fields that we brought from the database. Actually, you can also connect to the database and bring some additional fields. And what you can do, you can send. If you send this one, it will send it. It will go to the next one. For example, let me start from the beginning. This is not a real email, so I'd like to put my email instead. So this is my email. So if I send this one, it will send it, and then it will go to the next one. And as you can see, it's sent. Next one, I don't want to send this, so I can skip. And I go to the third one. I can send or skip. And then I can also click on this send all pending or send all skipped, and it will run again and will send it all automatically. Okay, let me close the screen. And I'd like to show you here, if I go to settings, I can show you how we build the file name builder here. We have a smart file name builder. You can activate this, and then you can add some parts. So for example, the file name would be the purchase order number, and then you can do free text dash, and then you can add additional, for example, the business partner number, add free text dash. You can do date here, for example. So what you can see here, it will be translated to purchase order number, business partner number, and then the date of today. You can add time also. This is good for controlling archiving of the documents, for example. So you can have it in order according to the order number, according to the date as well. So it's very flexible in terms of having the file name of the attachment. Here you can define your variables. You can have variables from within the text. You can actually mark any field from the text and use it. So this is the business partner. var2, we can, for example, do the buyer, for example. So if I define this as var2, and do done, I can go to the email message, and then here I can actually personalize this. I can do dear var2, and it will take the name of the buyer, it will add it to the message. Okay, let me go back to settings. You have additional variable like amount and currency. These are relevant when we activate the PO approval model that we have also for the purchase order report, where you can assign a purchase order according to amount level. You can set managers. Each buyer will have the manager that can sign above a certain amount. So these are relevant also for the approval process. The third tab is actually for the attachment. The example I showed you was picking the terms according to the business partner code. So as you saw, the var1 was for the business partner code. It will pick according to the business partner. Another way of adding terms and condition would be to concatenate it. Instead of sending it as a separate file, you can concatenate this and merge it with the PO itself. You can add a PDF file at the beginning or at the end or after each page. You can simply browse, pick the PDF and add it here. It will be added, will be uploaded, and it will be merged with the original PDF coming from the suite. This test, it's good if you are testing. You can set it to test mode, and then you can do your testing. It will actually, prepare everything, prepare the email addresses. It will display it on the screen, but it will send it to your email in this phase if you are testing, so that you don't mess with the email addresses. And here, DB variables, you can actually, if you have a field that is not in the report text and you'd like to get it, you can connect to the database and run queries to get database variables here. So you can create database variables selected from, you need to write your query to select the database, if it's Oracle or MySQL. And you can use this variable, the database variable, you can use it in the designer as well. You can add it, change the size of it, and it will be displayed in the final PDF file. This also how we set up the keys that we doing the parsing according to. So the example I showed you was parsing according to the purchase order number, but you can do the parsing also according to the business partner instead. So if you do a customer instead of PO, it will gather and merge all of the POs for the same customer in one PDF. So you can change the key that you are parsing according to, from purchase order to business partner. Here you simply mark the key. If you are parsing according to the purchase order, you need to highlight the order and number position. Once you set these parameters, you are ready. This is done only once, and you are ready to go. Here in the email, you define the address book that you are sending to. For example, if you are sending purchase order, I would like to pick the email defined in the buy from address book. So you can use this address book. You can do ship to or sold to. So it will pick according to the role defined in the address book. What I showed you was a one-by-one mode. If you uncheck this and check auto mode, you can run all of this in the background. You will not see anything. You'll just print a range of 10 purchase orders. It will automatically parse it. It will automatically pick the email address and apply the design you did, and it will send it all automatically in the background. This can be defined in a nightly job as well. Any questions so far? Okay, Kathy?
Yeah.
We are done unless there are any questions for us.
Any questions at all from the group regarding the products that you have now, or you want to talk about how what the model looks like under B2Win Suite? Any questions at all about that for Ehab and Najed?
Hey, I have one quick question. Under the business partners, I assume you have to manually import business partners?
No, not manually. We have a script that will run on LN or on Baan automatically. You just run a session. It will automatically export all of your business partner, all of your contacts, and import it automatically also in the suite. And this job and this session can be defined in a nightly job so that it can be updated daily, each night. So if you have changed anything on the LN or on the Baan side, it will also be updated on the suite. So it's done automatically, not manually.
Perfect, thank you. One other thing, when you're using the PDF designer and you have a template you're comfortable with and you save as the default, is that then the default for that report for everyone, every user?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a default report for every user, unless they decide to have their own design for this report.
Okay, so a user can have a specific design just for them.
Yes, but this applies if they have the permissions to change the design and to have their own. We have roles that you can actually, let me go here to the roles on the users. You have a list of roles. We have admin role that have access for everything. There is B2Win role and there's Smart Engine role. If I go to edit the B2Win role, you can see here they do not have permission to run the Smart Engine at all. On the design, they can actually view and execute, but they cannot change or update or delete unless you change the role for them. You can create your own role. You can create multiple roles. It's very flexible. You just add role here, call it whatever you want, super users, and then you can give them permission on each of these sections, on the Smart Engine, on the business partner, on the designs. You can choose what you want to give them. If you insert, update, delete, execute, or all.
Okay.
So, yeah, you as an admin decide the role of group of users, and you can decide whatever you want to give them permission to do so.
Okay, and just one last question, I promise. Let's say I want to send invoices directly to the business partner, but I don't want to use the primary contact on the business partner. I want to use the invoice to contact. Is that possible?
Yes, it's possible. You can configure it this way. Yeah, I don't have an example of invoice, but yes, you can choose the role, and if you want to send it to primary or to, yeah.
This is perfect. Thanks.
No problem.
Anyone else have any questions for Ehab? No? Okay. Well, I want to thank everyone for attending today. Again, we will be sending out the recording to everyone next week, so you'll be able to view this again or share it with your, oh, yes?
I just want to add something. For any of you, if you want to have a trial of the system, we have the option. We can install it for you, install a full operating version for trial. Or if you want, we can connect you to the cloud version and you can do your testing and trial on the cloud. Both options are available. So if you want to test, just let us tell Kathy and we'll connect you to either install it for you locally or you can connect to the cloud and test it.
So, thank you, Najed. I will put a note about that in the email when I send out the link. And if anyone would like to have a trial copy or access to the cloud version, we'll get you set up with that. So again, thanks everyone for joining today. We will send out the recording next week, and appreciate your time and have a great rest of your day.